didn't like me coming in there on that Saturday, those MREs, and then when he brought them back out.
He told me he lets it go in one ear and out.
That's right.
Wasn't happy.
He said, you can't offend him, he used to work for the state road.
Well, I'm quite sure that you knew that I've been very mouthy about the whole situation.
Fine, I mean, that's good.
Via Facebook, because I'm mouth of the South.
But,
I'm sure anybody can tell you.
but
But it wasn't that we were concerned. I was fine, she was fine, but there was lots of wrong.
there's lots of people that wasn't, and you're absolutely right.
I was so angry that I had to go to Richard County
Well,
to get water and ice.
well, all you had to do is stop the fire department. I mean, it was there.
But I had
No clue, and that's our biggest problem. We didn't have any way of getting the word out.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
question? If the 911 center, this is what I'm hearing, sent people to Ritchie County, and they live in Doddridge County, why didn't they also say, well, go to, Washington Volunteer Fire Department, or your nearest fire department?
Because it goes back to what
What I
Mr.
was
White was told and what Richard
We were
County Fire Department.
self-sufficient, Dodgers County didn't need any help. That's the words that was told straight to me.
That's what the 911 center put out.
The 911 center said.
Well,
Doddridge
and the
County
morning,
didn't need
and the fact that we were up and running, the county seat was up and running.
That core group.
Yeah, they said that we didn't need it, and
So the jail, so it was the criteria that.
jail was running on generators. We
Okay,
got
so
them.
it was the core that the National Guard went on, that priority. That's what the 911, can somebody talk to the 911 center?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, after they moved to Dodgers County.
You
They had-
can call 911 from my
The ladder
house.
was down on the 911. They moved, actually run the 911 center out of the old
I'm
Dodgers
trying to
County.
say, can anybody instruct the 911 center in any way, shape, or form?
They knew what was going on. We called them, we kept them advised daily on what was going on, but.
Well, it sounds to me like that was a source of misinformation. And so that's going to
Well,
continue into the future?
No, that's part of the LEPC because they're on our LEPC.
Okay.
The 911 center, the director down there is on our LEPC.
So
It's
that's going
just
to get
like-
straightened out?
Well, it should with the LEPC when it goes into place.
Okay.
And you're going to, whenever you have these meetings, you're going to publish them.
We always do. We run a little clip in the paper and there'll be an LEPC meeting. We've only had one. And what we did with it is we collected, I don't think,
Took over May.
well, but no, we got information.
Yeah, but wasn't no papers passed on?
What?
Wasn't no paperwork stuff passed on?
No, nothing. Zilch.
Did you just throw stuff away? You talking about
We don't, I don't know. There was
Just
nothing,
nothing
except
happened.
set car keys and the credit cards. But the, I forgot what I was going to say. The LEPC meeting we had, we contacted the Board of Education, the senior citizens, and we got on board. And like I've been going to, I've talked to the park and I've talked to Smokey down senior citizens. We worked before. I called senior citizens, no problem. They opened up. You know what senior citizens did? If we needed a cooling station, the building's unlocked. He said, I got security cameras. You can't hurt anything. He said, just get down, turn the lights on, turn them off when you leave. I mean, that's the way it was. And, but we had worked this all out before, years ago. We worked together. But we went back to what we had from, well, I can show you a book that thick from it's not 91, it's after that, it's 98, I think. But that's the last thing we had in writing. And it's
So you basically had something that you could go on a little bit? No.
well, they didn't have cell phones then. They didn't have generators
The county
then.
doesn't have cell phone service anyhow.
Well-
I have to drive 60 miles to get cell service.
Well, I know. You get a mile off 50 on any direction, you're about out of cell phone service in Dodge County. But no, that was just one thing. That hurts because one of the towers here at the county went down.
Went down, yeah.
So, but yeah, there was some problem. And like I said, there's 3,877 people without power. And that's just residents, 3,700. You multiply that by what's in any house. 2, 3, 4, 5.
But they were lucky because they live on the line that comes from the jail.
The jail.
They was without.
Well, the jail was without power for a good while because we got them.
They were out 30 minutes.
I think they were out 30 minutes
Yeah.
on that road.
But see, that's a 3-phase system. We lost power because they cut it off to put the three-phase back on.
Yeah.
And that goes, the three-phase runs from the old mill at Smithburg clear through the junction. And that's what basically is the core of the county. You learn a lot about this.
Cheryl, our electric comes from Glencoe.
Yes, yes.
And that's the other thing, we got all the counties around us feed in, and we feed out to some too. So when
Ours
they,
actually comes from like Claremont area, comes back, back.
yeah, Lewis County feeds a lot of the area, Harrison County feeds a lot of the area, Wallace feeds a lot of the area, comes over from Wallace and down in part of the county that way. And we had one place, it was, 5 times that line went down out there, Ralph, at that one same place? Up on that hill, we fought that fire.
Oh, yeah.
We had 5 times the line went back down. They'd patch it and they'd break again. So, yeah, I mean, if you're, I hope you come to the LEPC meeting. I mean, we'll put it in the paper and you're more than welcome, and we welcome the input. And that's why I tell everybody that, we've got to get things up and running. But we need to get a structure on the ground that we can work on. We're just working on the health department now, and shelters is next. And, I'll probably get back in contact with you girls about the shelter and the rest of them, because we've got an agricultural department grant right now, and the lady told us if they put disaster funds out, since it's been declared, that there'll be 15 cent to 5 cent money put out. That means we got to pay 15 cents on the dollar or 5 cents on the dollar. And we're hoping we can get enough to do all the fire departments and a county park.
The park would be more.
Well, that's right, but see, they didn't have any power. They were one of the last people in the county to get power, and they don't have any water then because they got wells. So, but we're going to have to look like the Greenwood Fire Department. That's the Greenwood building down there, be an excellent building, but they were back up on power the first day. So, you don't know what's going on, but we're going to try to work on, that's the first thing. Then that gives us central locations throughout the county that we can have places. Then if we get an LEPC in place and we can get like a daily briefing and the news out, and we can work on the communications. But is the next disaster going to be the same thing? No.
No.
It's going to be flooding, or it's going to be a
But
snow.
you're still going to have the need for communication.
Right, the communication is always going to be there, and we got to find other ways. And I'll be truthful with you. One of the girls that works down at the fire department come up with the home health, and I called Smokey, and he said, "Sure, no problem." So then he gave me the number of UHC, and I called the health department. No, the girl at the health department gave me the number of UHC, and they got people going out every day to take care of people. And then the meal thing, I forget how many people.
The thing of it is, though, if you tell me that, West Union is one of those core, that, the odds are you're gonna have the electric stuff back first. We choose to hook up our internet to the generator. So if they do an emergency Facebook page.
Well, that's the other thing. We got to create a homepage yet.
Yes.
It's been presented 3 or 4 times to create a county homepage, and that's never been done.
Whenever I went looking for some phone numbers, one of the first pages I found was so outdated that Ori Ash was still as commissioner. Clint Means was still as a commissioner. That was the very first page that I went to.
I understand.
Things need to be updated.
I've got stuff older than that.
Well, it was quite a shock. And I said at that time, I wonder if I would call Ori and if he'd give me some help. Because I couldn't find nobody else.
He would have. He'd have taken care of you. He would not have let things slide.
I don't have a computer out my place.
And and I understand the fact that a lot of people doesn't. But I'm addicted and I'll be first to admit that, I'm on Facebook.
I've never
And
been on Facebook.
I started from day one, ranting and raving. Anybody can read what my rants and raves. When you put something out there, you have to remember the fact that it's out there forever. So I didn't put anything on Facebook that I wouldn't say to your face.
That's fine.
Or your face.
That's fine. I mean, if somebody called Ralph or somebody called Cheryl or somebody called, I told them call me.
I tried.
Well, we tried.
Your line was busy.
No, we didn't have telephone.
Well, Tammy said that you was.
We didn't have telephone for like 15 days.
It actually rained busy.
Yeah.
Busy. So Tammy said that you had been without.
She accused me of going out and cutting lines, so I wouldn't have to listen to you.
Well, I honestly said he
Actually, the Frontier found a place down the road where a tree had fallen and pulled a pole out in the creek. It was laying in the creek. That's what our problem was. But it was 14 days before we had telephone. And that was long after everybody else in the county was up and running. And Mike, the kids, get a hold of me. He called the 911 center and they paged me. And I took the ranger and run up on the hill with my cell phone and called in. you know, that's the only way, you know, they couldn't get a hold of me, it just pages during the night on the fire department street.
But, you know, realistically, it would be so easy to do, you know, a web page, Facebook page,
That's-
because there was one, you know, from Gilmore County. I knew the Gilmore County emergencies, I forget what those was called, Gilmore County emergency something. I knew that their fire departments was actually going door to door. I knew where I could go in Gilmore
Well-
County. I knew where I could go in Lewis County. And the young girl at the fire department that evening, whenever I was saying this, she says, if we put it on Topic, we're gonna be bad now. Topics is nothing but a nasty gossip page.
But we have a Doddridge County news website.
Yes,
And all you
know.
have to do is put it, give it
Get
to
it out on
Monty,
that.
and he puts it out there.
Well, that's fine. See, these are all things, but, you know, we didn't have those capabilities for a long time with, you know, with all the
But
telephone
like you
lines.
said, all it takes is one person.
I get my internet, I didn't have internet, I get my daily emails off the one fire department because I get mine over telephone, my telephone was dead.
Well,
So, I mean, you know, I didn't have any
we
email
chose not to
capabilities.
hook up our generator to water. I chose to hook right up to internet. It's how I kept in touch with the world.
Anything else?
No, thank you so much. And if you do want a copy of this,
That's
well,
fine.
we
No, I
pretty
don't-
much talk about
Just
the same thing.
please, when we run the next LEPC meeting, and we normally have them upstairs in the courtroom, the next one, we have elect officers, we got organizational type thing, but those areas that I listed in there is we're gonna need people to volunteer for each one of those, because those each one be a committee. And, you know, and they're very important jobs, people don't realize. And, you know, like, I can tell you one instance that I couldn't get to town years ago, that the dispatcher sent a state road vehicle, and they drove through about 5 foot of water out there because we were flooded in to get into town to get things going. That was in the floods in
Right, 81, 85.
85. And no, we weren't out there.
No, I was
It's
home.
92. of course. We were
I
out
was
there.
home.
In 85 Wooden Street, we had water on both sides. We couldn't go a quarter
Yeah.
mile on both sides.
I understand. We had 4 inches of rain at our house the other morning. Down from out the hall, the roads was dry. Did you?
But you didn't.
People don't believe that there were 4 inches of rain in one rainstorm. Well,
We didn't have any.
you didn't have any?
I had an inch and a half.
Questions, any?
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Did
Thank you, sir.
Did you want these
I would
expense
like to
bills?
commend Pat for the job that he's done. He didn't please everyone. You talk about these emergency services officers in other counties, they've been on board for 10 to 15 years. They've got a system set up. He took this job in May because we did not have an emergency action plan in Douglas County for the past 10 or 12 years.
Then Doddridge County failed by not putting somebody in that position to get
They
the job
had
done.
someone in the position, but he did not
I
do his
resigned,
job.
I resigned in
And
2001.
Here again, Pat has laid out what needs to be done in this county. They need to be funded, reserve funding put in place so that when one of these happens, he has a purchase officer that can start buying ice and start buying ice, water, and whatever he needs and so forth, and have accountability for these things. And I would ask you this, why does not Doddridge County have a 911 center of its own? Why, how much are we expending for the joint 911 system in Ritchie County?
Because we couldn't find a place here.
No.
Whoa, you
We
got
started
one.
out here. It started out here in Doddridge County,
I think,
at the jail.
I challenge the county commission to reevaluate this situation and establish our own 911 center so you have an office of emergency services director who would probably be the 911 director, and you would have control of these situations. You would have an organizational structure set up that would function.
Well, no, the 911 center started out here. And
We
it
didn't have enough to
left in the middle of the night. That's fire department bills for the, I expended $300 and some for secretarial supplies in the way of paper and ink cartridges and stuff for the development of the, I'll talk about that first month in the bills, but that's the only bill, that's the only money that was expended during the whole thing other than the fire department money.
That's the only,
The only one that came in, no one else showed up, and we got the, so I told each one of them.
I'll give it to Beth. I'll put it in. Well, can I get in over there?
I don't know whether she still does or not, I'm not sure. She
Well, you
was
got it.
working on checks.
You got it. You can take care of it. I talked to her about that last week, about that.
If not, I'll see you the first of the month.
Okay, thank you. Are we done?
Sure.
We have all the bills done? I make a motion to adjourn. Yeah,
Oh, yes, we're.
yeah.
We're not getting that.
Come on up, Chairman.
There's too many employees on the list. that-
Well, it'd be better for you guys to have the employees.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll see y'all later.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, we're running polling stations here.
We'll actually
That's
adjourn.
because the TV
I
put
did.
it on.
You made
1
it
minute.
better.
Yeah.
An hour later, they can listen to everybody's polling station on Saturday. You know?
It definitely is lack of communication.
Oh, boy, I'm tired.